Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and yes, I am wearing the same shirt that you guys seen in the previous video and the same makeup in the previous video because guess what? I filmed 2 videos in one day, okay? Sue me, okay? I'm just trying to get these videos out here for you guys, you know? I'm trying to keep them coming, okay? But anyways, I want to come on camera today to talk to you guys about my I guess tips for growing long hair. I say long hair because, like, I don't know, like, I feel weird saying that I have long hair. I don't know, whatever. The point is, these are my tips for healthy hair, I should say. Yes, for healthy hair growth, okay? We're not going to say long hair, we're just going to say for healthy hair growth, because the goal should be health, not length. Health, when you have healthy hair, length will come along with that. But if you don't want long hair with that looks straggly and not healthy, okay? Nobody wants that, okay? So my first tip to you guys would be moisture. Like, moisturizing your hair is probably the most important thing, or if not the most, like you know, like high up there on like top priority list when it comes to healthy hair. Moisturizing your hair, because I mean, curly hair in general just happens to be more dry than straight hair, just because the sebum, the natural sebum or the oil that we produce in our scalp, it can travel down the hair shaft a lot faster when your hair is straight or wavy, versus when your hair is curly, like, you know, it takes some time for the sebum to get down the hair shaft, which is understandable. So that's why we as naturals have to put the moisture back into our hair. We have to make sure we're properly moisturizing our hair and then using the proper oils to seal in that moisture, or else the moisture is just going to evaporate. So always make sure that we're moisturizing properly and using a proper oil to seal it. Just remember, guys, that oil is not moisturizing your hair. Oil is a sealant. It's not going to moisturize your hair. It's just going to seal in the moisture. You know what I'm saying? Very few oils actually penetrate the hair shaft. Coconut oil is actually one of the few oils that actually do penetrate the hair shaft, but just generally speaking, oils are meant to seal, and then that's when we use our leave-ins and our creams to actually moisturize our hair, and then we use the oil on top of that to seal it. Now, personally for me, I use the LCO method, but there are 2 methods that most naturals do use to moisturize your hair, which is again what I use, the LCO, and then there's the LOC. So L in both methods stand for liquid, C stands for creams, and the O stands for oil. So I personally like the LCO method, which is liquid cream oil, versus the LOC, which is liquid oil cream. I like to use my leave-in, so that's the liquid, and then I use my cream, so whatever heavier cream that I use, I like to put in my hair at the time, and then I use the oil, which usually tends to be coconut oil. Lately I've been using castor oil just because we're going into the colder months, and that's a thicker oil to keep the hair moisturized for longer. But I use those 3, and you guys always see I always like to layer my products, and that's how I moisturize my hair. And I want to say I re-moisturize my hair. I'm not gonna lie, I don't do it as often as I should. I'm very lazy, so I only do it like maybe like once. So I wash my hair once a week, and then I would re-moisturize my hair probably like halfway through. So say I wash my hair Monday, I'd probably re-moisturize my hair Wednesday, Thursday, and then wash my hair again on Sunday. So that's how my week usually goes. So I only tend to moisturize my hair like twice, I guess, for my whole wash week. Some people do more, some people do less. Like, I mean, I guess it depends on your hair and the hair porosity, which is what I'm going to be talking about next. Alright, so hair porosity. This is my number 2 tip to you guys. So this kind of transitions from moisture to hair porosity. Yeah, so knowing your hair porosity level is very important, especially when it comes to knowing how to properly moisturize your hair. So people who have high porosity hair, and there's people who have low porosity hair. People who have high porosity hair, the cuticles on the hair shaft tend to be more lifted and they're more open. So moisture goes in and moisture comes right back out. So if you're not taking the proper steps to put in the moisture and then properly seal it, then you're basically doing nothing to your hair, because the moisture, like, it's easy for the hair to absorb the moisture, but then the moisture evaporates right away. So it's like almost no point of doing it if you're not going to do it properly. Now on the other end, there's low porosity hair where the cuticles are more shut. So people who have low porosity hair tend to have to do those extra steps to open up the cuticle. So say using a deep conditioner with heat. So when you use heat in the hair, you know, the cuticles lift up, and then they're able to put the moisture in, and the cuticles kind of shut back down. And then those people with low porosity hair usually tend to keep moisture in the hair a lot longer, just because once they can finally get it in there, then it is kind of trapped in there. But they have to do a lot of work to get the initial moisture into the hair. That's why I want to tell you guys that knowing your level of hair porosity or your hair porosity level is very important, because you can be moisturizing your hair or think you're moisturizing your hair, but you can be moisturizing wrong. Because if you have low porosity hair and you're just putting on the moisture on your hair, but you're not taking the proper steps to lift up the cuticle so that your hair is able to absorb the moisture that you put on your hair is going to be sitting on top of the hair, not doing anything. It's not going to be penetrating the hair, and you're just going to be getting product buildup. Versus if you have high porosity hair and you think you're putting moisture in it, you're going to wonder why your hair is constantly dry. It's because you're putting in the moisture, but you're not taking the proper steps to seal it in, and then it's evaporating right back out. So that's why I say knowing your hair porosity level is very important, because that will teach you how to properly moisturize your hair and retain the moisture in your hair, which would in turn give you length, because your hair is properly nourished. Like, think of your hair as a plant. You need to feed it, you need to put the proper nutrients, you need to like nourish it, and then it will grow. Well, I'm not gonna say it's gonna grow, but you will retain length, because your hair is always growing. Let's be honest, your hair is always growing. There's never a point in time that your hair is not gonna grow, unless you have some type of medical issues that prevent your hair from growing. But generally speaking, your hair is always growing. That's why most people always get relaxers, because they're relaxing their new growth. Other than that, if your hair wasn't growing, then you won't even get a relaxer once, and done. You're done for the rest of your life. You don't need no more relaxer. But because your hair is growing, you have to relax your new growth. That's what I mean when I hair is always growing. So don't think your hair is never growing, guys. Your hair is growing. It's just breaking off in the end, and that's usually due to lack of moisture. Breakage happens when our hair is not properly moisturized. So knowing your hair porosity level will teach you how to properly moisturize your hair, which will in turn let you retain length, and you'll see longer hair. Next one, deep condition. Deep condition. Don't skip out on your deep conditioning. I know not all the time we want to deep condition our hair, but honestly, deep conditioning my hair really changed my hair for the better. And when I say deep conditioning, I talked about this before in my deep condition video. I don't know if you guys have watched that. If you guys haven't watched that, I'll definitely link it somewhere in the video. But when I say deep condition, I mean a good balance of having moisturizing deep conditioners and protein deep conditioners. Now again, this ties back into hair porosity. So knowing your hair porosity will tell you how much of each you need. High porosity hair usually likes more protein conditioners, because their cuticle, again, it's so lifted, the protein kind of fills up the gaps in their cuticle. Whereas people with low porosity hair tend not to really like protein treatments. They're more protein sensitive, so their hair doesn't really like to get protein. However, no matter which hair porosity level you are, having a good balance of both is still important. So moisturizing your hair is very important for, again, no matter where you fall on the spectrum, but you still need to have a good balance of protein. Now again, someone with low porosity hair, maybe they will only do a protein treatment once, maybe twice a year, whereas someone who has high porosity hair will do protein treatments more often. But again, our hair needs both that balance of moisture and protein to properly flourish. So again, if you guys want a video on high porosity hair versus low porosity hair, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll definitely do a video on the traits of both. And then, you know, I can also tell you some tips on how to know if you guys have low or high porosity. Okay, trim your ends, girl. Like, cut it. Like, trim those ends. Like, why are you holding on to straggly ends? Get rid of it, because when you straighten your hair, or like when you have your hair curly and you see those straggly ends, it doesn't look cute anyways. So why are you holding on to that length if it doesn't look cute? Like, I don't get it. Like, I actually trim my hair, I want to say, a little too often than I should. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I get a little, just a little scissor happy sometimes, just a little bit. But honestly, like, I think it's a good habit to trim your ends. Now, trim your ends as often as you need to. Don't just trim your ends because one natural says to trim your ends every 3 months, or another natural says to trim your hair every 2 months or twice a year, or whatever schedule they're on. Don't follow anyone else's schedule. Listen to your own hair. See when your hair needs to trim. Like, look at your ends. Take, you know, like every now and again, after every wash day or so, every couple of wash days, look at your ends. See what your ends need to do. Like, do they need to trim? Take the scissors, trim it off. Like, don't hang on to the edges. Girl, hang on to your edges. Don't hang on to those straggly ends, because you know you want to see those. All those ends are going to do is they're going to continue splitting, going all the way up, and then break off anyways. So just save yourself the trouble and just trim it and nip it in the bud. Okay, next, no heat. Now I know this is hard. especially when you're first starting out, especially if you're coming from a relaxer and you're used to straight hair, or just starting out in general. Like, you know, you're maybe not comfortable with your curly hair, so you want to straighten it. But if you really want to achieve your goal of having healthy hair, cut the heat. Try to weed yourself. I mean, don't go to cold turkey like how I did. Actually, no, I didn't go to cold turkey. I actually started slowly. I started doing 1 month, and then I did 3 months, and then I did like as long as I could go, and then I just stopped altogether. I just did a 1 year, and then that 1 year turned into 2 years, that 2 years turned into 3 years, so on and so forth. You guys already know. Again, if you guys have not already watched my natural hair journey, be somewhere up here. You guys can see how I went natural. Not went natural, but took care of my natural hair. But yeah, like, cut the heat out, because the heat is only just damaging your hair more, and then all the new growth that's happening in your hair, like, you're just damaging. You're not even giving it a chance to really, you know, flourish and be as strong as it could be. You're just frying it out, and just cut the heat. I'm telling you guys, if you guys even just stop the heat for like 3 months and, you know, continue doing all the other steps, deep conditioning, everything in your hair, I promise you guys will see a huge difference in your hair. Like, I promise you, if you follow the other steps along with doing no heat, girl, you'll see a big difference. I promise you that. Remember, you heard it here. Promise you. Another tip I can give you is finger detangle, but I take this with a grain of salt, because I now finger detangle, but I didn't always finger detangle. So at first I was using a wide tooth comb, and which is okay. Like, wide tooth combs are great. If you use a wide tooth comb and it works for you, great, stick to what you're doing. I personally like to finger detangle over using a wide tooth comb, just because I can feel out all the tangles and I can feel all the knots, and if I ever run into a snag, I could just, like, you know, take my time and, like, you know, work it out, versus when I use the comb, I'm kind of just ripping through it. However, like I said, take my finger detangling tip with a grain of salt, because if you're going to be finger detangling and rushing through it and still ripping through your knots, you're going to be doing more harm than good. So if you don't have the patience for finger detangling, I would say avoid this step. But if you do take the time to finger detangle, I promise you guys will see a difference in the amount of shedding you're getting and the amount of breakage you're getting. However, again, if you don't have the patience, or if it's not a part of your lifestyle, just don't do it. Just continue using your wide tooth comb. Just make sure you're not using a thin comb. Like, either do the finger detangle or do the wide tooth comb, or maybe like a Denman brush or something. But make sure you're not using something with, like, the bristles very close together or something like that. Okay, don't do that. And my final tip, I know it's cliche, but patience. I know, don't. I know it's cliche, but honestly, patience is the biggest thing, because honestly, when you're first starting off your natural hair journey, you're looking at all these YouTubers, you're looking at someone like me who maybe, you know, has longer hair, or you know what I mean, like, you can't wait to get to that level, and then you do all these things, all these steps that I told you for like a couple of months, and then you expect like your hair to grow like wildly, like, or like amazing growth. And to be honest, most people's hair only grows ½ an inch a month. Now, there are some people who grows a lot faster, some people grow a lot slower. It all depends on genetics and whatever else, but generally speaking, the rule of thumb is that most people's hair grows ½ an inch a month. So that's only 6 inches. Well, not only, that's a lot, but 6 inches in a year. So, I mean, you're not going to go from like TWA to like my length in like a year. You know, actually, you know what? There's some girls out there, I don't know what they be drinking, but like, you know, they cut their hair like this, and then 3 months later their hair is like out here, and I'm just like, girl, what are you eating? Because I'm gonna need some of that. But you know what I mean, just focus on yourself, focus on your hair growth. Like, don't focus on the person beside you, like their hair might be growing faster than yours or anything else. Just focus on your hair, focus on your own growth, and focus on your own personal goals. Like, if your hair is an inch longer than it was 2 months ago, then congratulations. Like, you know what I mean, like, pat yourself on the back for that. You know what I mean, like, give credit where credit's due. Like, yeah, it might not be as fast as somebody else's growth, but this is your growth, and this is your hair journey. This is not their hair journey, this is not my hair journey, this is your hair journey. So be patient, and just, you know, like, just work with your hair. See where this is the time where you're learning your hair. You're learning what your hair likes, what your hair dislikes. You know, like, grow to love your hair in any stage. This is not a video on how to get long hair. This is a video on how to get healthy hair, which will in turn give you long hair. Okay, let's learn to love our hair in any stage, whether it's your TWA, whether it's, I don't know, what's the other stages? I don't know, y'all know what I mean. Okay, whatever stage your hair is in, learn to love it. Okay, because our hair is beautiful no matter what length it is. Okay. Anyways, guys, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe down below, and make sure you guys leave any other tips that I may have left out, maybe some tips that helped you on your journey. You know, leave it down below. Let other people see it. Let other people enjoy the tips. Don't hold back. Don't hold back on us. We all want healthy hair. If you got some tips, leave it below. Okay. And on that note, I want to thank everyone who has been subscribing to me lately. I love you guys so much. Like literally in the last month, I think I gained like 700 subscribers, something like that, which I know is not a lot in the YouTube world, but in my world, like, that's crazy to me that 1,000 people subscribe to little old me. Stop it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep subscribing. Keep subscribing. But anyways, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.